Hello everyone, I'm Stephen and this is Celebrity Luxury Edition, and today I am at an exclusive winery just outside Inca and it's Los Dos Caballeros. We are here today at Los Dos Caballeros Winery just outside Inca here in Mallorca, and we've been invited along for a wine tasting, so let's go. Okay, so here we are at Los Dos Caballeros and we have been met by William.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to Los Dos Caballeros. Let's get your tour started. This is Walter, the other caballero.
Hello.
Hi Walton, nice to meet you. Hi.
We're gonna get you started with a glass of rosé. We don't like to have dry tours here, so when we go on the walk, you have something to drink.
Fantastic.
Hydration is important.
Great way to start the tour here. This lovely, would you say newly refurbished winery?
No, it's brand new.
Yeah? Brand new, purpose built.
Yeah, this is purpose built because we have this concept of sustainability where we want to do kilometer zero production, and we have the fields right here, production right there, and therefore we needed a building to make the wine. On
Fantastic.
top of it, as you can see, when we get you the rosé, we use recycled bottles. See, the glass is green. That's why the color of the rosé is pale in the glass, but not pale in the bottle. Also recycled paper. And then at the end, solar energy. And all wines are organic. So with this, we think we can be proud to be pretty sustainable.
Okay, so here's my first taste of the wine here. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Good, right?
That's pretty good. What a way to start.
Nice grape for the summer.
Fantastic. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time showing me because I want everyone to see the vineyard, but let's walk through the vineyard and explain to everyone what you're doing here and how you started, and tell us as much as you can. Let's go.
Here we go.
Yes. Okay, so William, tell us a little bit about how you got into, being here, building a winery and moving to Mallorca, I guess.
So Walter and I were living in Barcelona before,
Okay.
and we actually came to vacation on the island. And I think it's a common story. People come once and they're enchanted.
Absolutely.
And we knew that we wanted to make a change. So we came, we found a house, we planted the first vineyards, and the idea was to be quite small, actually, just for ourselves.
Okay.
And then we realized what a project it is. So we reached a point where we decided, let's jump in and make it our whole life. So we sold the place in Barcelona and moved here full time. And this is what
Fantastic.
we've been doing ever since.
You've made that sound so simple, and I'm sure it wasn't so simple
It
as
wasn't simple.
you've made it sound.
But worth to mention, my grandfather was a winemaker in Germany. So
Okay.
I had this always in the back of my head, making wine one day. And it was not necessarily planned to be here, but wine was the key because I
Okay.
grew up in the winery. And when my grandfather was too old and sold it, my father and his brother, they didn't really want to take it over because they had their jobs. And also 40 years ago, wine in Germany was not like a big thing. So I was sad. And since then, I had it always kind of with me that I wanted to go into the wine and make
So-
my own wine one day.
So it was a passion that was always there, and
Yeah.
now you've fulfilled it.
Passion project, but it grew a little bit out of hand.
Well, and hopefully now you get to share it with lots of visitors that
Wow.
come to Mallorca, and wow. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the camera around because you're not getting to see what I see, right? Okay, So this is the reason I just turned the camera around,
So yeah,
because this is absolutely beautiful.
this is Sauvignon Blanc, what you have there. And if you turn a little bit to the left,
Whoops.
that's what you have in the glass. That's the Grenache.
Okay, I'm going to put that there because that's the before and after shot.
From last year, yeah.
Fantastic.
In addition to the Sauvignon Blanc and the Grenache, here we have a local varietal called Manto Negro, and then we have Merlot behind the house. Next spring, we're going to extend just a little bit because we like being small. We like to connect with the people who come visit us. And in the new plantation, we're going to have another Mallorcan variety called Cayet and a bit more of the Grenache that we already have.
Wow, fantastic. And does being small help you perfect your wines, you know, that much more? Or is it just a personal choice to?
It does. It does in the way that we have high contact with the product that we're making. So, for example, every single grape bunch in our field is touched by our hands at least twice before it goes into the bottle. So that's something that large wineries cannot say.
Yeah.
Wineries that use massive machines to do the harvesting. This is all very personal. You know, we care very deeply about what we're doing here, and we hope that that love shows through the final project.
That's fantastic. Love that. That's great. Can we go a little bit further on?
Sure.
Are we able to look around?
Yeah. So besides wine on the property, we also rent this guest house you see here. We currently have some guests with us,
Oh, fantastic.
staying for a few days. Then we have farm to table tastings, where we use the local produce from our own farm and local providers, and we do those twice a week. We also have a small olive grove where we produce our own olive oil.
Oh, wow.
We have many carob trees that we sell as a direct crop, and Ronnie also loves to eat them, as you can see right here.
Yes, he's enjoying them.
That's his summer snack. So we diversify a bit on the property.
I love what you're doing here. You're not just kind of, I don't know how to say it, just putting yourself in one craft. There's so much to offer someone who's coming here. So it's not just a wine tasting. They can stay here. Here they can have a wine tasting. They can have a private meal cooked by a private chef, and really have a local experience with local produce, passion and love in wine and food, and that's fantastic.
All of the tastings that we do are always private. So if you come with one person or you come with a group, it's always only you. Because as I said, we love to hear the stories of the people who come here, how they loved wine throughout their lives and what brought them to this point, and then share ours as well.
Fantastic. And so what have we got happening at the moment on these? Because I admit I don't have much knowledge of wines and grapes, and so what's happening here?
Well, we're kind of close to the harvest, so it's right like 3 weeks away from being harvested, especially this Sauvignon Blanc. The grapes are developing, and as you can see, they're getting like, this is the final size actually already. They're not getting really bigger, but yeah, we will harvest this wine in 3 weeks in order to keep freshness and acidity in the glass. The red wine, the rosé, they come a little bit later, but like between beginning of August and mid of September, we will harvest everything.
Fantastic. And I guess the Mallorquín weather here is ideal for wine.
Well, climate change is kind of there.
Right.
But this year it's a bit cooler than the years before on average. We had a bit more rain. So this year we go a little bit more into kind of a normal season.
Okay.
But yeah, we feel the heat, but also we planted very heat resistant grapes, and especially the local varieties, they can take the heat. And Grenache is one of the most heat resistant grapes you can have.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
So in this respect, these wines, they will go for a while.
Behind the camera, I'm sipping the wine as we go.
Well,
So it's
cheers.
so cheers. And it's quite interesting you say we've had it cooler here, because anyone that's not living here at the moment will not know that for the last 6 weeks, it's probably been in the mid-30s daily.
Yeah.
So it's been quiet. And today is actually, you know, the first day I've seen some cloud, and there's been a bit of rain recently. So is that something you hope for sometimes, a little bit of rain? And
actually need. I mean, we can water because you see the lines, the water lines. We have wells on the property, so we can give water to the grapes. But heavy rain, of course, helps, and we try to be very strict with the water because overwatering is also not helping the rootstock to really go deep and settle.
okay. I hope you, sorry, you're not wearing a mic, so I do
Yeah,
hope
I
everyone can
started
hear.
speaking
So
to you
that's
as
why I've stopped. So well, I only have 2 mics, so that's fine. It's so interesting to hear, and I hope we get everything on camera that people watching will kind of get the experience that I'm having at the moment, and will be interesting to come along.
Something also unique about our
Yes.
winery, you can see here. We do lease programs. So people will typically give these as a gift. And what it includes is anywhere from six vines to an entire row. And you can lease those vines for various numbers of years. We have a few programs to choose from. But it's really a gift that you give to someone who already has everything. People
Okay.
love to come here, plan a tasting, and then they present them with the certificate that has their name, the exact vines that they are leasing, and then we come into the vineyard and hang their little plaque up, and people really, really love to
So
do
they get
that.
a gift of their own
Their own vines, yes.
Fantastic.
They
That's
get paid in wine. Yeah.
yeah. Well, for wine lovers, I can't think of anything better, right?
Exactly.
And a gift that you wouldn't really think about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Great. Okay. Well, lead us on to.
Let's walk around
Yes.
to our vegetable production, and we can talk a bit more about Farm to Table Mallorca.
Absolutely.
So let's go have a look at the vegetable garden that we use for Farm to Table Mallorca. Andy is the chef and the mastermind behind Farm to Table. He started his project a few years ago and was operating at his house. And then he made the shift towards us. So now we are the full-time location of Farm to Table Mallorca. So we have the Farm to Table tastings twice a week. And we feature the local veggies from our production here and from around the island. But everything is grown with love and care. Here you see we integrate some flowers. We've got tobacco plants here. These all have their own place in the ecosystem of the garden here. We've got some herbs, tomatoes, sunflowers are ready to be harvested for the seeds, some kale. So we've got quite a bit going on here. If we walk a bit further.
Sorry, I would talk, but I'm still sipping away on this.
No,
lovely
don't worry,
wine.
don't worry. You can see the tunnel that we've grown some melons and peas and
Whoa! How do I get over there? There we go.
other kind of veg inside.
And this is probably every chef's dream, right?
Yeah.
To come out and pick the produce and like you say,
Exactly.
farm to table, right? Go straight
Yeah.
onto the.
And everything is grown organically. We care deeply about how we steward the land that we have. So it is really fun to come out and pick the interesting things that we choose to plant. So we have like 5 different kinds of basil. We've got international herbs that you won't find in the grocery store. So that also makes Farm to Table quite unique because the flavors that we have here you can't get anywhere else.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm just sharing the camera now with William because he's holding the fort very well on his own. So where are we heading to now? Did you say this is the Merlot? Yard?
Yeah, so we just left the Merlot fields.
That's right.
We're walking by the Manto Negro, and we're on our way into the tank room. There I'm
Okay.
going to show you the process of once the grapes come out of the field, what we do with them. Because we have an extra step in place, which I will explain when we get there. That's an extra quality boost for us here. And because we're so small, because we can really interact with the wine in such an intimate way, we decided to have that.
Right. So tell us where we're going now, will you?
So we're heading to the tank room, where I'm sure Walter will be waiting, and he will tell us a bit more about how we make the wine here, and the process after the grapes get into the winery itself.
Fantastic.
Yes, there he is.
Okay,
So, yeah, I'll hand it off to you.
All right,
You take it from here.
okay,
let's go.
good.
Enjoy.
Well, here you see where the wine is made. I don't know how deep you would like to have the explanation.
Well, that's up to you. I mean, so you, in simple terms, you take it off the grapes come off the vines.
Yes, grapes come off, we harvest by hand because we want them to be fresh. Because when you harvest by machine, you shake them from the vines, they crack, and with the temperatures, they ferment in the field.
Okay.
And we want them to ferment here, not in the field. So we cut them by hand, so we cut the whole bunch, so the grapes stay on the vine and stay intact. And then they come here with little crates, and then we put them in a cooling room for one night to get them on the same temperature and to get them cooled for a temperature that doesn't allow to ferment when we destem.
Okay.
When we come, we have these three machines, like the sorting table is this one. It's a vibrating table. And we have a destemmer, which is the one in the corner there, and the press. And these we put in one row here. Grapes come out on this table. Table shakes out leaves, insects, dust, and then two people on each side do a manual selection of the grapes. That's what William said. We basically have all the grapes in our hands.
Okay, and how often are you doing that?
That's every year.
So once a year?
Once a year in a couple of days, because we harvest field by field, because all the grapes are ripe on a different point in time, and when they're ready, we harvest.
Okay.
After that, they're going to get stamped. So then the stem is going to be removed from the vines, and then they get pressed. Then, depending on the wine, they get pressed. I have to say, white and rosé get pressed, pumped into the tanks, added yeast, and then fermentation starts. The fermentation temperature is going to be set because these tanks can be cooled. You see these rings around, they are cooling rings, and they are connected to a cooling system, so we can set the temperature for the tanks, and the fermentation starts, meaning the yeast is converting the sugar into alcohol.
Fantastic.
And
And is this something you show your customers when they come to the wine tasting? You
They
show them
get
behind the
basically-
scenes?
Yeah,
and-
they come here, they get all this shown. We show them where it is. Sometimes the wine is even in, and they get a zip from the barrel when it's drinkable or from the tank. And yeah, at the moment we're waiting for the harvest. Everything is empty, but it's going to be filled soon.
So how long did you say you got to your next harvest?
As I said, 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Then after 2-3 weeks, when the fermentation is done, well, then we have a base wine. It's still
Okay.
cloudy, and also the settlement, because the dead yeast and particles, they settle down, which we then remove because we want the wine aged not on dead yeast, because for the type of wine we're doing, it's not what we want, because it doesn't really support freshness. And then we need 3 to 4 months for clarification. We could clarify with filters or with products, but if we put products like egg white to bind the particles, then the wine is not vegan anymore, so we let gravity do the job. It takes time, but it's like the natural way to do so. And after this, the wine is going to be bottled, labeled, and sold.
Fantastic. Okay.
Red wine is a bit different. Red wine is not going to be pressed after destemming because we put all the grapes in the tanks.
Okay.
And then we need to do another step on top of the fermentation because we need color. Because the grapes, only the skin have the color, and the grapes inside are white. So what we have to do is we have to extract color, tannins, minerals, and this is what we do with the so-called pump over. Meaning we put all the grapes in here, not pressed, but the weight is pressing, pushing the grapes down on the bottom to crash. and then we pump out the juice and pump it back up in.
Okay.
And the pressure of the pump cracks the skins and washes out minerals, color, tannins, and that basically gives the color into the wine. The skin contact is the key factor to get color in the wine. And the more we do this, the more intense the wine is going to be. And then after this, when the fermentation is done, we press at the end to really squeeze everything out. And then again, clarification in the tank for a couple of months. And then we do aging in barrels to add body and the flavors from the barrels. And this is happening here.
Fantastic, let's go.
After you. This is the holy room.
Wow.
This is where we age the wine and store the wine. So here you see the barrels. They're all French oak. And we put the red wines and one white wine into the barrels for aging. And the aging gives the flavors from the barrels into the wine, meaning like French oak gives you cedar, vanilla, leather with smoke. This kind of adds to the fruitiness of the wine, and then depending on how long we will do it, the more or the less of these flavors are added to the wine, give body, give complexity. And yeah, that is the style of our wine. We have one more fresh, we have one more little bit round and with more body. And that's for us constantly trying and seeing when it's the right time to stop, and then we bottle.
So the barrels, the wood is really...
Yeah, the wood is adding. But the wood depends on how old the wood is. When it's new, it's adding more. When it's getting older, it's adding less. So after 3 years, it's usually not really like adding too much anymore. Then we put the barrels out and put new ones in. So we have basically a rolling scheme. So every year, one out and a new one in to keep the average age kind of at around 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and when we feel it's time, then we bottle.
Into the bottle and then the best bit.
That's why the red wine takes longer, because you have to add the time for aging the barrels. We have one red wine, our premium red wine, which is this one. It's made like an Amarone in a Passimento style. That's 13 months in oak. So basically from the harvest till the bottle, and then we do a little bit of bottle aging as well, is like 3 years before this wine gets to the market from the moment the grape has been picked.
It's really interesting to see like the behind the scenes, you know, from the vineyard, well, your story, starting with your story, how you got here to the vineyard, to the, you know, the squeezing of the grape to the barrel. It's very interesting.
Well, it is a passion project. I mean, it is a big investment for like not a big kind of production. So you have to have a lot of passion. But this was my idea, to try around, to make new things and try new stuff in terms of fermentation, in terms of barrels, create new styles of wine, blend them, local varieties with foreign varieties, and see what's going on. Sometimes it works pretty nicely, like this one. Sometimes we can forget about it. It doesn't work all the time.
Oh wow! So you put all that time in, and if it doesn't work, you don't put it out there. Because
every year we have a project, kind of an idea, and then if they work out, we sell. If they don't, we just forget about it. That's the risk we're taking. But that is the fun on it.
So that means that when people are buying your wine or tasting your wine, they know they're getting the best because you're not putting anything out there that you don't want your name to.
We don't sell anything we wouldn't drink ourselves.
There you go. Yeah. That's a great way to end up there. So where do we go next?
We go inside and then we have a little bit more tasting and wines.
Okay.
So you've seen the production area, you've seen the barrel
fascinating.
room.
Yeah.
Let's move to the table and we can taste some more wine. Looks like you've got some company here.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so I just had the fabulous tour around the vineyard, and I think we've got some wine coming our way.
Martin, would you bring the Sauvignon Blanc over?
Sure.
So now we're having the Sauvignon Blanc from vintage 2024, and so it's a light white wine, definitely a bit more aromatic in comparison to the previous rosé, and it's not your, let's say, usual Sauvignon. So instead of those green vegetal leafy notes, it goes more to the fruity side. So You get notes of apple, pear aromas, and tropical fruit aromas.
So during COVID, actually, I decided that I wanted to start growing organic flowers as well, because we do the tastings and we love having people here for many different kinds of occasions. So we have the organically grown flowers that we also use on display there. So we've got some zinnias and cosmos and amaranth, and all of it is seasonal, but organically grown with love. So I've got to show you this wine. This is our crown jewel, the MM, which stands for Mañana Mañana.
Okay.
And it's named that reason because this wine uses the appassimento winemaking style. So the grapes are actually left in the field to over-ripen. So you get a really concentrated result. After picking the over-ripened grapes, we dry them on netting in the vineyard for a while. So it loses even more of the water content. And the result is this bombastic, highly layered, 1 year in French oak, really, really delicious wine.
Well, please sit down and join us.
Well, I can't say no to that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So off camera, you wouldn't have seen, I was just asking William what wine he prefers, white or red. And sorry, we're going to sorry, there's so much going on in the background, it's fine. I was just saying to William off camera, what wine do you prefer? Do you prefer the white or the red? And quite rightly, William just said that it's about its application, it's the time, it's the food, it's
the company.
There you go. So I would always normally steer to white wine, but I feel this might sway me another way. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Thanks for coming.
No worries. Thanks for the invite. As I thought, that's definitely swayed me. Converted me to red. This is amazing. This is, sorry. I'm having more.
Have another sip.
Which is why I think it's a very good idea to have a guest house on site.
Yeah.
Because if you come and do some wine tasting, you can't put it down, and it's great just to head next door, right? And
It's only a few steps away.
That's it. Absolutely brilliant. So, well, I think it's a good opportunity to say thank you for having us here today. It's been very enlightening. We've learned so much about how you're sort of making your wines and your sustainability ethics, which is great. And, you know, don't just take our word for it. We were lucky enough to meet a couple who were just by chance. It wasn't scripted. They weren't here as a setup. They were here on their honeymoon. So they agreed to do a quick interview. So I'm going to add that clip in now and just take a look. We are joined here by Nicole and Taylor, who have joined us here all the way from the USA. They're here on their honeymoon and they've come to visit Los Dos Caballeros today. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What brought you here today to Los Dos Caballeros?
Well, we wanted to try some wine. We're in Spain and we have just enjoyed all the wine we've tried here. And so we decided Saturday was a good day for wine tasting and drove out here. We're about 30 minutes away is where we're staying. And it is so peaceful and beautiful. And we got a full tour of the property. It's more of a boutique winery, which we loved. It's very lovely and peaceful and quiet. And it felt like a very personal experience.
So you've brought smiles and still holding the wine. You've had a good experience today?
Overall, yeah, it's been like she kind of said, it's been nice seeing a smaller winery and getting kind of the personal touches that come, you know, with the tour from the owner himself and just seeing around his property. So it's been amazing.
So it's definitely something you recommend to the people watching.
Oh
No
yeah,
doubt.
the wine's fantastic. The scenery is fantastic. Yeah, it's great.
Great experience.
Okay, well, happy honeymoon and enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
And as I say, that was not scripted and some really nice words there. So you must feel chuffed about that.
I am. They were such a sweet couple, and to hear and see people really enjoy themselves when they come to a space that we put so much energy in and love into, to see that they enjoy themselves, that's really what makes it worth it.
Fantastic. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm just going to say, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and please hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content that's coming your way soon. Thank you, William, for having us here today.
Thank you so much.
We'll put all the details that everyone needs to know to visit, your website, your email, in the description of the video. So thank you very much.
Perfect.
We're going to continue having some more wine. Take care.
See you at the winery. Cheers.